Today I'll show you one construction use case example of how you can turn Telegram into your data entry automation, saving yourself few hours of your time. It's basically a setup where sending a photo to a group chat, a small AI step will automatically extract info and will do all the needed formatting and calculations for you. And I'm going to show you how you can make such time saver using make.com, and I'm going to walk you through explaining everything as well as I can so you understand it and can then apply this to any situation you might have in future. So let's do it. So like I said in the start, you will need make.com account. We will use Google Sheets for this one, but you can use also Excel. We'll use Gemini as our AI step, and then Telegram where we are going to send the data. In make.com, when you're into your account, you're gonna hit on create scenario. Then we'll first need to set up our Telegram channel where the photos will be sent. So let's go into Telegram, and when we click here on the side, we can see new group. So let's name it, let's call it YouTube test, and then you hit on create. And that's gonna create our Telegram group. Then we'll need to create our Telegram bot, which will be this AI step, which will actually analyze the photos we have. And the reason why I'm not doing this on WhatsApp is because WhatsApp is a bit tricky one and they have a lot of limitations. And I think you actually have to pay for each message AI like generates. So it's really not that great for automations. And in Make, you don't actually have native WhatsApp modules, which means you'll have to use some other tools out there and you'll have to pay for them. But on Telegram, on the other hand, you have a native one very well for the automations. And so in the Telegram, what you want to write in the search bar is you're going to put @ and then you're going to search for bot fodder. And for me, it already pops up as the first because I've made automations previously. And you're going to click on this one. This is the real one. Then when you open the chat, you're going to write something like / and new bot. You're going to click on enter. It's going to ask you to choose a name for your bot. So let's name it YouTube imdev automation. And now it's going to also ask for a username for this bot. So let's have something like imdev automation bot. Now it says that it's done, and it's going to give us this token, API token, which we have to copy. And if you click on it, it copies automatically. We're going to go back to the make.com and we're going to search, I already have this Telegram bot. And we're going to take this watch update module and we're going to add a new hook. This hook will basically work as when the message is going to be sent in the Telegram group chat, the make automation is going to automatically catch that and we're going to be able to process those photos or text, whatever that is, afterwards. Let's click on add connection. And here it's going to ask for the token. And when we click on save, we can see it here. We have the active connection. One more thing we have to do for the bot specifically, we have to go back into bot fodder and we have to write something like / set privacy. And we choose the bot we just created and we then click on disable. And what this is going to do is that the bot, when we're going to add it to the YouTube test group chat, it's going to catch all the messages that are going to be sent into this group, because by default it will only catch messages if we would go into group and we would like hit on this @ and then we mention the bot and then we write the message. It's only going to catch those ones. But if we disable it, then it's going to catch every message that's going to be sent into this group. And once we've done that, we can actually go into our bot. We can click here. If we click here at the top, we can then add it to a group. We then choose the group we just created and we click on OK, and it's going to be automatically added to the group. And now just to test it, let's run once. Let's wait for new data and let's send in a simple message. And then in the make, yes, we can see we have received it, which means the bot has seen the message. We can actually see it over here, text. Test. And so now let's send in some test image just to kind of see what's the structure we receive, because now as we send it as regular text message, we have it like this, but let's send it in as a photo. And I've used my friend Gemini to create some test delivery tickets, because this automation originally was for a construction company. And we're going to run it one more time and we're going to go and upload one of the images, for example this one. Let's send it in. And this is important because we want to see how does image sending look like on the make side. And actually now we have this photo field or photo array of 4 items in it. And this is basically quality of the images, and this is how Telegram sends it. It starts from the lowest quality of the image. We can see basically from the file size, this is the smallest one, and then the last one is the biggest one of all, which means is the highest quality. And the 4th item is basically what we want to give in the next step to the AI, because we don't want to give AI the lowest quality, as then it will not be able to analyze actually the image. So we'll click on next step and we're going to choose an iterator step. It's this one. And here, this is what we will do. We will actually provide an array of the photos, and it's going to basically go through each of the items. like a for each cycle if you're a programmer before. And then here we will put condition, which will actually allow us to take only that fourth item, which is the highest quality. And then once we will have that image, what the next step what we want to do is actually download an image. And for the Telegram, you actually have such a step where you can download a file, and it's this one. And here for the file ID, we actually have to provide the file ID, which we will get from the previous iterator step, and we just click on here. We save. Here we have to put additional condition, like a filter, where we only want to take the fourth item of that whole photo array. Now let's test it one more time. Let's run it once. Let's send in again a photo. Let's send in the same one, and we can see it completed. If we click here, we can see it took the fourth bundle, which is the fourth of the image resolution. Here downloaded it, which is pretty nice. And now the next steps would be that we put those AI steps where it analyzes actually the photo. And I forgot to tell, for our situation, what we want to do is we want to actually take out the material of this delivery ticket. Then we want to take the amount, and then we want to take the object name and date. And we want to put it nicely in the Excel sheet, so we wouldn't have to manually count the amounts for each material that was delivered to the site. Because usually you would have to do it manually. For example, workers send you an images of these delivery tickets that they have delivered the material, and you go on manually and you see, okay, sand is 20, we have it like this, it's 100, 26 May, this construction site, and you go through like that, like 40, 60 images, because in the day it's pretty lot of images, and you count them manually. But now we'll put an AI step here, which will do it for us. And for the AI step, we will use Gemini. And for the Gemini step, before we give it to AI, we first have to also upload a file. So we choose this one, and we can see it's already automatically connected to the previous step of the download file. We click on save. And now for Gemini, actually, if you don't know, you also have to make a connection first, and you have to provide this API key, which if you don't know, I'll quickly show it to you how you can do so. So you go into console.cloudgoogle.com. Then here, when you are in the console, if it's your first time, you will have to make a project. It's gonna show it to you. It's not something pretty crazy you have to do. Then when you have an active project, what you want to do is go here in the quick access to the APIs and services. And once you do so, you want to click here on enable APIs and services. And you want to search for Gemini API, and it's going to be here. It's this one. You click on it, and as I have it enabled, for me it's not showing, but for you it's going to be a button enable. Then once you've done that, you want to click here on the sidebar again. You want to go to APIs and services, click on credentials. Here you can see I already have the API key. So what you're going to do, you're going to click also here on create credentials, and you're going to click on API key. Once you've done that, you can give it a name. Then here on restrictions, it's pretty important that you select only Gemini API. You click on this, it's unavailable for me, maybe because I have already the API key. You check that box, you go here, and then you just hit on create, and it's going to give you the API key. And when you have that, you go here, you put it in, and you save, and you have a connection. When we have uploaded to the Gemini, we can then use it in a chat with the AI step. So here we get another Gemini step, and we click on generate response this time, and we're going to choose the cheapest one because we don't need nothing flashy, and a lot of these models are discontinued, so we are going to choose just a 3.5 flash model. I mean, it's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap to give an image and analyze it. It's like cents, 1 cent, 2 cents for analyzing a single image. And then here on the message step, we click on add item, we click on role, we hit the user. Then parts, we click on parts. Here we can choose actually the file. So let's choose a file. Meme type, let's select it from the previous step. File URI, let's put it here also from this one. And we have it like this. So let's add another item. And then again, a user message. And then here we'll go to user message of what we want AI to do. So basically what info we want to put out, how we want to format it, and what we want him to do with those images. And then I'll just write something like that your only job is to take a look at the form filled out by the heavy truck driver, which has delivered construction materials from one of our sites. Pull out the info from them. Then we're going to specify what info we need them to pull out. And here we can say you have to the site name to where the materials delivered, then also the dates when they were delivered. Then also all the materials was delivered and the total amount, how much that material was delivered. And then we're going to also say that if you cannot clearly see the image or what is in the image written, because in real life they are written actually with pen or pencil, and here I try to do the same with Gemini. Then just output, for example, just output that, and I'm gonna say it like this, not pretty specific. And now the problem if we would leave it like this is that the data output we would get wouldn't be that consistent, which means it would be harder for us to actually put it into Google Sheets. And what I mean by that is, let me just show it to you. Let's send in the same picture. Let's actually click on run once, wait for new data again. Let's send it in. Let's wait a bit. And now, if we take a look at the output of this AI step, we can see it did output as data, right? The total amount delivered, 100. It's sand, the date, destination, right? But the data isn't structured really, and it's like this one chunk of text which we cannot put into Excel sheet. So what you can do in these AI steps is that you can come down here, and I think it was advanced settings. And yes, here it's response format, and we're going to put it on JSON output. And here down we can make a schema of how we want the output to look like. And so we're going to put the value types, and we're going to put in, probably start off with the date. Here let's say that is date when materials were delivered. Let's put on next one. Let's choose a site name, and this will be the site name to which materials were delivered actually. Then the next one, we're going to put material name actually that was delivered. We're going to say each material that was delivered, because there may be multiple materials. So we also want to make this property as an array, and we also want to make it required, which we'll probably do also for all the other ones. And then a few last ones, we have to take also the amount, which will account to amount of each material delivered. It's also required, and it's an array. And then the last one, we're going to put probably a Boolean, which is true or false. And this is going to be, we'll call it an error. And here in description, we're going to say if you cannot clearly see what is in the image, then you output true. But if everything is clear, then leave this one empty. And this we will not mark as required property. For the date, actually, we should specify actually the format of how we want them, like this. And now I think we should test it one more time. So let's run it once. Let's wait for new data. Let's send an image of this. And let's see how it goes. All right, good. Let's check it out. Output, result. Yeah, we can see it. We have it as items. And here, okay, I think I was pretty not specific about the instructions. Here, let's say total amount of each material delivered. And here maybe in description, we can say each unique material that was delivered. And I don't know if we have to instruct it maybe in the prompt. We can say that it's important to count the total amount for each material that was delivered. Let's go like this, and let's try it if it actually took this into consideration. Let's send the same one, and let's see how it goes. Let's check the result, and we can see, yes, now it only outputted the unique name and the total amount, which is sand, and it's 100. If we check, it's 100, actually, yes. And now what we want to do is we want to actually put a router, and in the router we will have two routes. One will be if it's an error, so means that AI cannot see what is an image. And to actually show you that, and here in the filter, let's choose the one, which is the lowest quality of image, because we want to actually get that output of error to actually put it here in the filter, because now we don't have it. We have only amount, material name, all that, but we have to get also error. So let's quickly test it. Now it should output that true case in the error parameter, which we actually see it here. And now we can use this parameter in the filter. And we click on here, true, which means if error is true, it's going to go in this way. And then what we can do in Telegram, we can do something like send a text message or reply. And what we are going to do actually, we're going to reply to that image like this, for example, that, hey, you need to send it again. Something like this. So the person who sent it understands that maybe they have to go through that image manually, so the AI will not process it accidentally, or they can just retake the picture. For example, let's fill out the fields of chat ID, which we have it in the first one. Here under the message, under the chat ID, text, we can put the same message which we And then we have to click on advanced settings, and here in the original message ID, we have to actually provide the message ID, which is this one. Let's again go ahead and quickly test it. And now let's see, and we can see it here. It actually did that automatically. That will be kind of how it goes. But now let's switch back this filter to the fourth one, to the highest quality. And then let's keep going here if everything is good actually. And we're going to put error not equal to true. Then what we are going to do next is we are going to actually input those materials and amounts into our Google Sheet. So we're going to go quickly and create an Excel sheet into our drive. And we're going to put probably a date field, then the probably site name, material name, then amount, just like this. Let's name it actually YouTube automation. Let's go back to make. Let's make the connection with the Google Sheet, and we're going to click on add row. And then we find the sheet we created, just like this. And actually, I forgot one more thing. What we're going to do, we're going to create another sheet. Let's duplicate this one. And this will be a sheet of log data. And why we will need this is because we will actually store the image IDs of those files. And why we are going to do that is because we don't want people to accidentally send two of the same images of how we did here. And to prevent that, actually Telegram has like this file ID. And by that, we will actually see which image is sent, and if it's already sent into Telegram group chat, then we can maybe again send some kind of reply that, hey, this image is already sent, or we can just not process it or take it into consideration. So just to make it safe, that is what we are going to add, and in this log data, we're going to put on file ID, and we can delete these ones. Then if we go back, I think we have to refresh it actually. Yes, once it refreshes, it is there. Here we can see the columns, and here in the file ID, let's scroll back to where we had actually the photo ID. It's in the photo, and it's here, file ID. And it's actually, I think we have to take file unique ID. And so this is going to save the unique ID of the file here. Now that we will have this one, what we will actually want to do here, right before we are processing it, we want to add another Google Sheets tab, which will be search rows. We're going to put it here. And the thing we are going to do here is we're going to actually search in that log data sheet for that file ID, just to see if it's already sent into Telegram. And we're going to put limit to 1. In the filter, we chose file ID equal to, and we choose actually this one, file unique ID, if it's equal. And we can actually, just to save on those steps, I understood we can put it here right away. Then we can take the file unique ID from here. If it's equal, that means that it's going to return a one bundle. So it means that if that image will be already sent, it will be already in this log data field. And if by searching that file ID we can find it, that means it's already sent. And here we have to change to 0, because if it doesn't return anything, it means it hasn't sent into Telegram, and then we can move forward. So let's test it quickly. Now it went, because we don't have anything in this log data field. We can see it filled out, and now if we send it again, it shouldn't go forward because we already have it. And yes, we can see it here. It stopped. So that is great check we did. And now we have few less steps, as we will have to insert actually the materials in this sheet 1. And now I do want to test a few other images just to see how it pulls out the info. Okay, this one is actually with multiple materials, so it's going to be interesting to see. There is soil, sand, and gravel, because I think probably for this picture we will have to instruct it, because this one we can see it has it with trips. So I think it will not do that automatically. If we check actually the result, the amounts, yeah, we can see it here. So let's quickly adjust the AI prompt for that one. Okay, so now I did that, and I instructed that sometimes people will not mention the total amount of the cargo, and they will just mention, for example, trips. So what we will do, we will actually delete the last image file ID, just so it doesn't show that it's already sent. And let's try and send it again. Let's run it once, use existing data. Let's check it out. And I think this is correct, because 11 times 20, that's 220. So that's 500 total. Here it's 20, and here it's 100. And that's actually what it outputted us. Here I will adjust for the date, because I saw from previous one that the date didn't show for each material. So I'm going to say date when each material to the site. And yes, now it's correct. And it actually adjusted this one because the date for this one was different. So we didn't put it together as 500. So here we're going to put again the iterator step, which is going to basically iterate again through our array. And we're going to put only one here. For example, let's choose material name. As the next step, we're going to put actually search row. Because what we want to do, we want to actually search in the Google Sheet to see if maybe that material for that date and for that site is maybe already there. And if it's there, we don't want to add again new row because that is going to mess up the amounts. For example, if there's already a soil for specific date, for example 27th, and for example X site, and if there's again new form coming in for the 27th date X site and the material is soil, we don't want to add a new row. We want to actually plus that amount to the existing one. So let's take the sheet name. In the filter, we want to filter for date, for site, and we want to filter for the material. And if they all are going to match, then we're going to plus the amount. If not, we're going to add a new row. And here we're going to use a formula like this. We're going to use a get. In this one, I'm going to actually insert a bundle order position. And in this one, as it's date, we're going to insert this date array. And this will just mean as it will go through all the, for example, 4 materials, it will only take the date for that specific material. So if it's third material, for example, soil, then it's going to take only the third date for that material, if that actually makes sense of what I'm trying to tell you. And we're going to do the same for the site and also the same for the material. And we're going to put text operator equal to insensitive. And this will just mean that if there will be a material named soil and other one will be with the capital S at the start, it will still plus them. Otherwise, if we wouldn't have it as case insensitive, take it as a new material that it still hasn't inserted, and it will not do that. And here we're going to take a flow router, and if this is a new material and condition is total number of bundles equals to 1, which means that the material is getting returned, it's not a new, I just messed up myself. Let's put this one 0, then it's going to be new. And if it's already there, then the total number of bundles will be 1. And for this one, we're going to take sheets and we're going to take update row. Again, choose the spreadsheet name. Row number we're going to take from this one, from this searching step here previously. And what we're going to do, we're going to update the amount. And to update the amount, I think there was a formula called sum, like this. We should do it like this. Then it's comma. And then it's going to be actually the amount, which will be again that get formula, because we want to get the specific amount for that material. I think we have to use this semicolon here, and that is going to do for us. Let's save it. But if it's going to be new, we're going to just add a new row of that material. So we again choose spreadsheet name, and then we just fill out the fields with the date again from this formula, the site, then the material, which we could take from this iterator step, but I mean, it's something is glitched up, so I don't want to do that. Just like this, and we save, and I think we are actually done. Let's now run a quick test on this. Let's delete the old data here, and let's input this picture, which had the multiple materials, and then see how it goes. Good, so all of them are new rows. We can see it here. It's the site name, we have the date, we have the material name, and we have the amount. Good. Now, if we add another picture, choose bunch of images, send them at once. So it's 4 images at once. And I understood I didn't run this one. So let's use existing data. Yeah, and it added here as the date 26, anonymous site. Again, with filtered. Great, it's 25th date. This one is from the 2nd of June. Actually, that's the 3rd image. Is it actually? It is. It's 80. The sand is 80. Great. And I think we had one more, so let's use existing data. I understood we will not be able to test it because I have different sites, but I'll just send in the first image again just to test that. Yeah, and this one is another different site. It's filtered. So let's delete the first image ID. Let's send in the first image again. And let's see if the amounts add to each other, if they are already existing. And so if these ones will change, then it's a success. If they will add as new ones, then it's not. Yes, it added, boom, bam. Nice. And no error here in the make. Let's actually save this one. And I think that's a success. Didn't took me even 2 hours. it did actually. In 2 hours, we built this automation, which will probably easily save you a bunch of more time if you're in construction, or based on this automation, which I showed you how to build it, you can build other flows which involves some kind of information extracting from images, because I showed you how you can do these JSON schemas down here, where you can actually format the data how you need it, on what you need to pull out, and how you need to format it. So I hope that I did my best to actually explain it and to show to you how to do that, and you will be able to apply this to your own future situations. But if you're not sure and you do need some help with some other automation ideas, then we are open to help you to build such automations on Make, Zapier, or even Azure, just so you could save yourself some time. This is something we do. We've been doing this for 2 years straight now, and we've helped companies from Finland, Germany, Australia, and even Latvia from different industries. So maybe even your pain point is already something we have built out. So don't be shy to reach us out. There's email below. There's also a Calendly link below where we can hop into a call, and then we can see how we can help you. I hope you got value out of this video. If you did, then I'll make probably some other videos like this. But now that's it from me, so go ahead and save yourself some time. Take care, everybody.